walking down the street. I was minding my own affair. I'd had a dip of skull in my mouth. Didn't have no hair. I didn't want to fight. I didn't want to scuffle. I'm just headed down that street.
Hey, Rick here. Got Spot. Say hi, Spot. Okay, anyway. Over here at 10th Street house, and I thought I would do a little more work on the carport project. So this will be carport part 2, I think. So anyway, and one thing I did want to tell you is that here in this municipality, you have to have a permit if you're going to add any square footage to the house. But this house is already permitted for a carport, and that's what all the stuff is piled up on the driveway over here. Is I had to take the carport down, in case some of you haven't watched the prior videos, in order for the roofers to put the roof on, because the houses are so close together over here. We couldn't get their equipment in here any other way. So and it needed to be repaired anyway, so we took the carport down, and I had help with that, and then now I'm just going to put it back. And that's why a lot of the lumber, I'm going to reuse what was there in some cases. Some of it was bad, and I'm going to replace it. But so anyway, kind of wanted to clear that up. But so I thought I'd get some stuff done over here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to measure. We know that our posts that we're using are new posts, because we put the brackets in last week, and now I put these blocks here just so someone wouldn't trip over the brackets. But so we know that we have our posts here that we're going to use, and I'm going to measure up the same distance that the post would be here over here on this corner up, and it's going to be actually a little higher than what it was. And then I am going to take the siding down so that it's out of the way across here to right about here, where we will come up. And then we know that this slab slopes up just ever so slightly. So what I want to do is I want to make this height here and this height the same from the roof down. So in other words, I will measure down from the roof to get my height over here, and it's going to be somewhere, you know, like 7 foot 11 inches, where this side will be a full 8 foot. So anyway, I know I'm talking a lot about it, but I kind of wanted to give you an idea what I'm going to do. So I do want to get it framed in, and then before I put the roof on, then I'm going to get up here and fix all this soffit and fascia across here, and get the gutters. You know, I've got the gutters over here, get them all put back together and get them back on. So all right, so I'll show you more. Okay, so I want to get up here and measure this. $31 3/4. Okay. So now we're going to go over here and measure down 31 3/4 over here. Okay. Now 31 3/4. Now 31 3/4 down. Okay, so that's a reference point that will get us all the way from that point at 31 3/4 down, because we're not worried about the levelness down here. So we're going to go from that point 31 and 3/4 is at our mark right here, if you can see it right there. So now I'm going to measure from that mark down, and then that will give us our height. Alright, show you more. Okay, so what I did was, first of all, I took my level and I made from this corner down here where we know we're going to match up with this one, and I made me a line all the way up through here that's level. And then when I got up here to where our 31 3/4 is at, then I leveled a line out and the two intercept right here. So now what I'm going to do is come in here and I'm going to just cut out a chunk of this all the way up through here, and then I can tie back in the piece that goes across here and ties in with the other ridge plate. And then I'll get that bolted back onto the house, and we're just going to cut this piece out of the way so that we can lay our 2x4 down in here, and we're going to notch it just like this one is over here, because if you see this one here, how it's notched right there, and that's so the 2x4 can lay flat and run across over to our other beam, or our post, I mean, one of these posts here that will be standing straight up. So anyway, okay, so I'll show you more. Okay, now what you can see is that I've got a space right here up to the top that I can put my 2x4 piece in here, and of course we'll notch it out right here for the 2x4 that'll run across this way, and then we'll finish putting in our header plate up here. So, alright. And some would venture to say, well, why have you cut this all so neat and everything if you're going to rip it all off? And the plan is to change the siding on this house, but I have learned over the years to don't just destroy everything right off the bat. Come in here with a sledgehammer like on those HGTV shows and just start beating and tearing everything off, because we may have to reuse this somewhere. Vinyl siding is easy to come by, but this old metal siding is generally a special order, and there's a lot of different widths, there's a lot of different textures. If you look at this one actually has simulated wood grain in it. So I'm not just going to just tear it all off of here yet and make a big pile until I decide exactly what it is I'm going to do with it. So that's why I'm not taking it all off yet. Most likely it is going to come off. However, at this point, I am not taking it off. So, if I do take it off, and I do decide to not reuse it, then of course it will all become scrap metal. And we'll have to take this particular stuff has got a foam backing on it that's been put on there. Generally that's glued on, so we'll have to take all of that off, which will be simple to do because the scrap metal people won't take it with that styrofoam on there. So there is some work involved in it, you know, but there's also a lot of value to this aluminum siding for scrap. So with that being said, I'll show you more. Okay, Rick here. I had to take and run off, had a call, I had to go do something, and then it got to be really super hot because the sun was straight overhead, but now we've got a little bit of shade here because the sun it's about 3:30 and the sun's getting on to the west a little bit. So, but what I wanted to show you what I did, and then I'm going to show you how I did it, is we got the post anchored to the bottom with the anchors. And you can see that there's 3 on each side. And then I'm using these just to kind of steady this so it doesn't want to go this way. And I've already measured at our 8-foot mark, came across at our 8-foot mark. It's level across there. And this post is level this way. Now once we get the other posts set, then we will level it up this way. But these braces are just keeping this from wanting to, you know, fall one way or the other. So, all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I lifted this up. Of course, you know, like I talk about, I'm working by myself, so you got to kind of come up and be a little ingenuity, I guess is what you want to call it. So let me move this ladder here out of the way. This is the ladder my son and his girlfriend got me. You know, they didn't like me working on that rickety old ladder that I had, so this one's really nice. I don't, they got it from her grandpa or something, but it's almost like brand new, so it's a real nice one. Not used to that. So okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the camera down here, and then I'm going to raise up that post and show you how I did it. Now I didn't run that in real tight because I want that to be able to swing whenever I raise this post up. And then I'm going to get my screw ready in this one, so that once I do raise it up, that I can lift that up. And then I'm going to get me some screws here, and I got to get my level. Hold on a second. Okay. All right, so let's raise this thing up. Something like that right there. Okay, now that'll stay there. So what I'm going to show you here is what I want to do is I'm going to get this adjusted in this bracket so it's evenly on both sides, and then I'm going to take my level and I'm going to level it up and set the screws, and then it'll be real close, and we can always tweak it just a little if we have to, because you can tell right now it's leaning, so it actually needs to go this way a little. So, but anyway, show you more. Hot. Okay, well, I was just going on and talking and explaining everything I was doing, and looked over and my camera was dead, so I had to charge it up. So one of the things I talked about that I want to at least point out is, if you remember when we put this post in, I said that the slab is up about an inch there, and so we went over here and we measured down from the top to get it straight across, which we've got. Everything's level. So came across here and we leveled this out. Well, I wound up having to cut just about an inch off the top of this post, and then that second post, when it went in, why, it was level and straight across there. So I took doubled up a 2x4 for a header across there, because the only weight it's got on it is this light tin stuff. So and the 2x4s, but that's what was up there before, was just a 2x4. So and they got those ribs like that in between them for reinforcement. But anyway, so tomorrow I'll start putting that stuff up, the rafters across here, and I'm going to do them a little differently. They just had them setting on this piece up here, and I think what I'm going to do, I don't know yet, I'm going to see. I might go buy a hanger, because we talked about putting those hurricane hangers on there. I might go buy some hangers and put across here, and then hang those things on there. Or, I mean, that's a pretty long span, so I'm just not sure exactly what I'm going to do yet, how I'm going to do it. So I know it was up there before that way, and I get all that, but anyway, we'll see. Tomorrow's another day. Hopefully it's not as hot. I think the heat index is about 110, but not really, but it's like 105, 101, I think. So with the 95 temp. So I am going to go home and cool down. So anyway, I will show you more the next time I'm over here working. Got to get this thing done so we can start getting some work done over here. So anyway, thanks for watching. Be sure and slip down there and leave us a comment if you want to. You can email us. Email address should be down here in the corner someplace at the end. And you know, be sure and check out some of the other folks that watch our channel. Jonathan W. and Cold War Motors, Vice Grip Garage, some of those guys. Really enjoy their channels. So hopefully you guys are subscribing, telling all your friends to subscribe, and we'll show you more on this repo house and working on this garage, or this carport I mean, in the next video. Until then, bye. Run, Tallulah, run!
Hi, baby.